Hey all, Hipper here. So today I have chosen a video which I'm sure we will all recognize, at least if you have spent some time at tier 7 and legendary tier in the last year or so, or pretty much as long as this game has been a thing. Because sometimes you just get presented with battles that are just so ridiculous that they're sort of funny actually. Of course, sometimes it's not a lot of fun, but I can look back on this battle here now and laugh and think, wow, that was pretty ridiculous. And I'll show you what happens in this battle here. And as I said, I'm sure you'll be able to recognize some of the situations here. So I am in the only legendary ship on my team, and there is an Alaska on the enemy team, meaning that everyone else is in tier 7s. So this is supposed to be, the pinnacle of the tiers, where, you reach this level, and then if you play a lot, then you should do pretty well. And sometimes that's just not the case. And I mean, that's okay once in a while if you have like a battle, like let's say 1 in 10 battles is a battle full of inexperienced players. That's okay. I mean, it's allowed to happen, but that's not the case in Legends. It's more the other way around, where 9 out of 10 battles you have a battle like this, where it's just completely like there's no I don't even know how to put it. There's just no rhyme or reason in what's going on. People just seem to play completely random and do weird things, and it just takes away from the fun of the game, honestly. And I've said this before, and I know I am not the only one saying this, but it's about time that we split, inexperienced players from the more experienced players. For example, here, like a Minotaur in full view of 2 battleships, 3 battleships actually. I should have been removed a long time ago, but I'm not. And I mean, in this case, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I can stay here a little bit longer and torp some battleships. But that's not supposed to happen. And in a minute, the cruiser over here on my flank will die because he's just YOLOing into the open, which is, I mean, fine, okay, if that's what you want to do. But that leaves me alone against the whole, well, yes, the whole red team over here. And we are about to be, I mean, 5 minutes into this game here. And I'm just about to post more than 100,000 damage 5 minutes in. And there's just not much of a, reaction from my team. Some of the battleships haven't moved at all from the spawn, if you look there. And this is not, to diss players or anything like that. Like I said before, it's okay to play at legendary tier or tier 7 when you're inexperienced. There's no problem with that. It's wargaming that simply allows it to happen too much and pretty much removes the fun from the game from players who actually would like a little bit of, cohesive play once in a while. And I mean, it just gets old, man. And that's one of the reasons that I really hope that we are going to get clan implementation into this game very, very soon. So the people who want to potato at tier 7 or legendary tier, they can do all the potatoing they want, as long as like people who play this game and enjoy it and actually want to do some like competitive gaming and stuff like that. They have a place to do it, and that place isn't standard battles. I think that has been proven for 3 years now. I suggested back in the day that why don't we have like another kind of premium time where you buy a month of super premium time, whatever you want to call it, where you only get matched with other players who have also bought super premium time, or whatever you want to call it. Like it's just an idea here, and of course you don't have to buy it. It could also be some sort of rank based on whatever stats or whatever in the game. Just something that allows more serious players to be separated from less serious players. Let's put it like that. I don't really care how the separation works. That's really none of my concern. But it would be, you know, an easy way to do it would be to implement clans properly into this game here, and make it a permanent thing. Obviously, we don't want clan seasons or anything like that. If that's what wargaming ends up doing, I'm going to absolutely, yeah, scream. But anyway, as you can see, this battle here is just a mess. Like, all the red ships are on one side of the map. They're all hiding behind this island here, meaning that, I mean, there's no way I can go anywhere. I'm gonna have to sit here and just rely on my team to help me out. And as you can tell, that's also probably not gonna happen. So my patience is getting a little thin here at this point in time. And I'm pretty much just getting ready to YOLO, because as you can see, we are down 4 ships. And there's really no reason we should be down 4 ships, because the reds are extremely easy to catch down here in the corner of the map and crossfire and just totally eviscerate very, very quickly. But obviously I can't do it because I'm caught here in front of this island here. I can just stay here, and then I can torp anyone who tries to push me out. And there are so many ways of, you know, breaking this deadlock here, but it's just not happening. And I mean, fair enough. I'm not gonna complain. Like, well, I am going to complain, I guess, because it, like I said in the beginning, it is getting old, this sort of stuff here. And we are talking tier 7, and I'm actually in a legendary ship here. Supposedly, you know, the highest tiers with the most experienced players, and, you know, the high service costs and stuff like that. And when you get into battles like this over and over and over and over again, it gets tiring, very, very tiring. And I fully understand the people who complain about this game on a daily basis, because I used to do it myself back in the beginning. I have learned the hard way, well, not the hard way, but I have learned that there's no point in complaining, because this game is not really going to change, and you just have to accept it, I guess. And I have accepted it, but sometimes I still get annoyed with the state of play in this game here. So unless we get like a separate mode for more serious players, or clans or anything like that, then there's only one way to stop this from happening, and that is to crank the service costs up much, much higher than they currently are. And I was a very loud critic back in the day when wargaming lowered the tier 7 service costs, because that is definitely not what we need in this game here. And they actually lowered it by, I think, about 20%. I can't remember anything like that, but it was ridiculous. What has to be done is to raise the service costs, and not just raise the service costs, but raise them like significantly. We are talking, I would say, a minimum of doubling the service cost, and I would prefer tripling the service costs for tier 7, and especially for legendary tier. You don't play these tiers to make money, to make silver. That's not the point. Although, I mean, if you are a good player, you will make silver in legendary tier. It's not difficult. But I mean, most players at legendary tier, I guess I assume that they don't make a lot of silver. And if it was very expensive to play at legendary tier, we would, you know, dissuade some of the less experienced players from playing at that tier. And if you want to take out your legendary ship, that's fine. You can always do it in AI, or, you know, just standard battles. Probably not the best idea if you just, you know, finished your Conqueror in the Bureau. So if you saw it here, I just had enough of this game here. Like, there's a destroyer capping our base, and no one is paying attention at all. I've been caught behind an island for the whole game, because I didn't expect the whole red team to sit behind that island. And I mean, that's not my team's fault at all. I guess if anyone's fault, it's my fault. But I mean, I was expecting a little bit more cohesive team play here and perhaps a little bit of, foresight. But didn't happen. And when that happens, I'm not going to keep hanging around and trying to win a battle that, let's be honest here, my team does not deserve to win. So I just usually do what I did there, YOLO out, torp a battleship, and move on to the next battle. Because that cuts down on my frustration with this game here, and I think that's the way I survive, and I keep playing this game here. I mean, it's pretty bad, like a pretty huge downside to a game that, like, you're a company and you have a game, but no one can really play that game on the weekends or, the first 3 or 4 days after an update, because it's just impossible to get any sort of enjoyment out of that game, because there's just too many inexperienced players in the higher levels of the game where they shouldn't be, honestly. I mean, there's a reason we have tiers. I mean, you want to play the game, that's fine. Play tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6, no problem. And play all the AI you want. But tier 7 and legendary, in my opinion, there should be some sort of threshold that, blocks little Brian, 5.5 years old, from entering the battle in his, I suppose, his dad's Conqueror, who knows, but he could have researched it himself, because he doesn't have to do anything to research the Conqueror. You just have to keep restarting your bureau projects, and that's it. And then log into the game. And I don't know, I hope that doesn't actually happen very often, because I don't see why people would have this game, log in every day, and then, just to unlock a legendary. But it seems to be happening, because I cannot really explain the lack of understanding of the game in any other way, and that's especially evident at legendary tier. It's really painful sometimes, and I guess I'm just getting to the point where I'm starting to think that perhaps I don't have to live with this anymore, because it is hurting the game. It's been 3 years now, and I mean, yeah, what can you do? Anyway, those are my thoughts. See you out there.